You have a curious look about you. I presume you have something interesting to tell me. Why, I do believe you've lost your mind. Ghouls living here? You're serious? I don't suppose I'd mind terribly if ghouls were to live here. And it would be a good bit of sport hunting them down if they misbehaved. I dare say, though, you'll have a bit of trouble convincing certain residents to go along with your novel proposition. Tell you what, if you can convince Mr. and Mrs. Wellington, Mr. Ling, Miss Montenegro, and Miss Lancaster, those ghouls can live here. Have you seen me shoot? I'm quite proficient, if I do say so myself.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Cheng. My miserable excuse for a husband is Comrade Irving Cheng, and you can tell him I said so. Do you know he tried forming a committee to discuss the ghoul situation? A committee! He made himself chairman, of course. What we need is somebody to do something, not just talk about it. Don't suppose you know anything about ghouls, do you? I wish I could. I get nightmares from time to time. I don't know. I mean, they're all deformed and scary looking. I bet they're really mean, too. Well, you seem like you know what you're talking about. I guess I'd be willing to give it a try. I might not spend much time with them. And if they do anything stupid, I'm sure they'll get kicked out. Fine. It's okay. I guess so.
I'm off to bed. Sweet dreams. Well, well, what have we here? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Susan Lancaster. Perhaps we can become better acquainted in the near future. Me too. Especially rich, fine young men. Listen, you look like you can handle yourself. You survived out there in the wasteland getting here, after all. You ever have to deal with ghouls? Fine, never mind. I thought you were a real man. Turns out you're just a scared little boy. I've come too far to share my digs with some droopy ghoul. Well, if you don't mind their stink, then you should go squat with them in their dirty tunnels and leave us civilized people alone. I'm done with the wasteland, and I've been everywhere else. There isn't anything better than this. Damn you and your ghouls. I'm not going anywhere. I'll talk to Tenpenny. I bet I can live in Burke's place. He's never around anyway. And when he does come back, I'll make sure he's fine with the new arrangement. I'll just send up for my food. I'll never even have to look at you or your ghoul buddies.
You can't be serious. Ghouls aren't human. They live in filth. They eat their own babies. You're out of your right freaking mind. Why would you hang out with dirty vermin like that? You enjoy sifting through feces. You know it's only a matter of time before they get hungry and eat you. You're crazy. Ghouls will never live in Tenpenny Tower. You'll regret this. I've spent years collecting all this fabulous merchandise. I won't stand for this. Where the hell am I supposed to go? The only suitable place is Tenpenny Tower. Everywhere else stinks and caters to low-life scum like you. I'll die out there. I just know it.
Hell no. Tenpenny won't allow it, and I take my orders from him. He'd be out of his goddamn mind. But like I said, ultimately I work for him, so whatever he says goes. But I wouldn't like it. It's dark in those...
Welcome to Boutique La Chic. Your taste in shopping venue is impeccable. You're being serious? That's out of the question. What an absurd notion. I think you must have been out in the sun too long. You horrible little zombie lover. What right do you and your disgusting buddies have to push honest, hard-working, important people around like that? Where do you propose I live? When I die, it'll be your fault.
You're new around here. I'm Margaret Primrose. I've heard they carry diseases. I don't know. As long as they don't cause trouble, I guess I'd be willing to give it a try. I guess so, sure. Hey, people.
I am Comrade Cheng, beloved leader of the people, shining servant of the community. How can I help you? Thanks, comrade. I'm sure you'll agree that people are only as strong as their leader. That's why I do my best to serve the community to the fullest. Speaking of service to the community, I don't suppose you are familiar with ghouls, are you? More importantly, how to kill them? I formed a committee to investigate the problem. Perhaps you're right. My wife is always going on about how crazy I make her. You finally got around to asking me, comrade. I've given it a lot of careful thought. I would welcome these ghouls into our community. I've already formed a welcoming committee. All right, comrade. We'll welcome them into the community. Good travels to you, comrade.
Okay.
Hello. Herbert Dashwood. Damn glad to meet you. Call me Daring. Everyone else does.
Everyone ready for the Capital Wasteland's latest news?
Maybe you've heard the GNR radio play? The Adventures of Herbert Daring Dashwood? That's about me, you know. Based on my, earlier days. I even had a ghoul manservant. Let me ask you, you ever met a ghoul before?
Turns out the live atomic bomb in the town center has finally been deep-sixed for good.
Ah, you already learned some wisdom in your youth. Congratulations.
The only lone wanderer from Vault 101 to disarm the nasty nuke. And the kid delivered. Hey, nice work, 101.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but they better be civilized. The tenants here are real uppity, and most wouldn't take kindly to ghouls living here.
Thanks for listening, children. This is Three Dog.
Like I said, it's fine by me.
We're Radio Free Wasteland.
Of course. I wonder if they've ever been to Underworld. Now there's an interesting vacation destination. Haven't you ever heard the radio play? He did it in the style of those shows they had before the war. Of course, they do portray me as a bit of a chump. Argyle may have saved my hide more than once, but I had my moments. Argyle was my manservant. Ah, but that's really just a fancy word for the guy who saves my sorry skin on a regular occasion. He was a ghoul, you see. Been around since before the war. We met when I stole his girlfriend back in '41. We've been best friends ever since. We got separated a long time ago and never reunited. If you find Argyle out there somewhere, you be sure and tell me, okay? Don't forget to have a little fun out there.
Introductions are in order. I am Mrs. Edgar Wellington. You may refer to me as Madam or My Lady Wellington. You're better mannered than your apparent breeding would indicate. It is nice to make your acquaintance. You didn't happen to catch a glimpse of any ghouls on your way in here, did you? I do hope you're not referring to me. I'm certainly a better conversationalist than some stupid ghoul, and I smell better too. My neighbors might be out of their minds, but I am not. Those ghouls will not be living here. Damn it! This can't be happening. Why do you think I came here in the first place? To get away from ghouls, monsters, and scum like you. Now I'll have to start all over again. Where will I go? Yeah, right. Watch your back.
Edgar Wellington II. Have you met my wife, Millicent? Hold on. Who let you in here? There's no need to get snippy with me, boy. We're all a little perturbed on account of those ghouls. Don't suppose you know anything about ghouls, do you? Then you obviously don't know anything about ghouls. I know you've been pressuring people into allowing ghouls to live here. Who do you think you are, harassing honest people like that? You should be ashamed of yourself. I certainly won't allow ghouls to live here. This is outrageous, preposterous, forced out by a bunch of dirty ghouls and some bleeding heart activist. Where will I live? How will I get there? I never forget a slight. Watch your back. I'll be sending someone to pay you a little visit in the future.
You have a curious... Well, if my tenants want ghoul neighbors, they can have them, though the ghouls must pay and follow the rules like everyone else. You're a clever one, aren't you? I'm glad this situation has been resolved. It's a bit crass, but here's a little something for your troubles.
What's the status on those Tenpenny bigots? I'll be damned. Really? Good job, kid. I was willing to unleash the pharaohs and kill all those bigots. Guess I don't have to now. Here's a little something for your troubles. It'll help you deal with our pharaoh brethren if you meet any. Get going.
Hey there.
Don't know how you did it. I'd never allow those zombies room and board. But as long as Tenpenny keeps paying me, I'll stay. Don't do anything stupid.
Charmed, I'm sure. Hey,